The Cayman Islands are a group of 3 tiny islands in the Caribbean Sea. In this series, we show you some of our favorite places and experiences on the island of Grand Cayman, where Cassandra is from and where we lived for several years. We are Scott and Cassandra, the forever explorers, and these are our Cayman adventures.
Today we're at the beautiful Queen Elizabeth II Botanic Park. It's a gorgeous 65 acres to preserve the local plants and wildlife of Grand Cayman, located on the eastern side of the island.
And there are many things that we love about this park, but one of the main things is that they have a blue iguana sanctuary. The endangered blue iguana, this is the only place in the world, this one little island where they occur, where they're native. So we're going to go in there and see the park and see the iguanas.
All right, let's go.
Check this out. The largest blue iguana we've ever seen, right on the edge of the road. So we're just pulling off to the side of the road. We're going to see if we can get a little bit closer to it. Check out this blue iguana right alongside of the road, going into the botanical park. This is definitely a male. You can see how colorful it is. So they do have a blue coloration. They're not as bright blue as you might see in some of the photos online, but you can see that it's at least the spines along the back and around the head. There's some pretty bright coloration. And notice the red eyes as well. That's one thing that's really distinctive about this species, the Grand Cayman blue iguana. So Cassandra's going to walk around behind him, just so you can get an idea of how big he is, so you can see the scale in the video.
Oh my gosh, honestly, he is one of the largest I've seen. I've been here often. It's incredible.
So I would say from head to tail, he's probably comes up to about Cassandra's chest almost. So a pretty robust fella.
Yeah, and he's at least 3 feet long, I would say.
Oh yeah, with his tail, he's more
tail.
than 3 feet.
He's
I'd
really
say
big.
Yeah, I'd say close to 4 feet. Tip of the nose to the tip of the tail.
And it's a really cool day to come out here, to be here, and you'll probably see a lot when the sun comes out like this. So he's just enjoying sunning alongside of the road, like he owns the place, and he does.
At the entrance to the park is a beautiful fountain surrounded by palm trees and other plants, and some festive penguins left over from the holidays. We love the peaceful ambiance around this fountain and always stop here when we visit the park. When entering the park, we first come to the Visitors Center with a large front porch with rocking chairs and hanging plants and a beautiful front garden. And there is a gift shop inside and a patio area in the back. After the Visitors Center, the first large area that you come to in the park is the Orchid Boardwalk. This is a very peaceful walk through a dense forest where there are gorgeous orchids growing in the tree branches. There are 26 orchid species that naturally grow in the Cayman Islands, and 10 of those species are found here, including the wild banana orchid that produces Cayman's national flower. In addition to native species, there are also orchids here from Jamaica, Central America, Cuba, and South Florida. Most orchids are epiphytes, meaning that they grow on other plants, mostly trees. In this forest, it is fun to look all around throughout the tree branches to see what interesting flowering orchids and other epiphytic plants we might find. The boardwalk here is about 600 feet long, and this part of the forest floods periodically, creating a moist, humid environment that is perfect for orchids. Late spring and early summer are great times to see plenty of blooming orchids here. This video was taken in mid-June, and you can see that many of the orchids have flowers. The boardwalk forms a loop, making for a convenient walk through this amazing forest. Back on the main trail, the next garden that we come to is the Heritage Garden. This is one of our favorite places to visit in the park because it showcases a traditional Cayman-style house and garden where there are traditional medicinal plants, herbs, flowers, and fruit trees. In the Cayman Islands, sand was often used in yards because it was easy to maintain and kept looking neat. White fences typically marked the front of a property, and conch shells were often used as decorations in these yards, especially lining the pathways leading up to houses. A large front porch was common on these houses, where people could sit and enjoy a cool evening breeze. Simple furnishings are shown inside this house, and the kitchen is in a well-ventilated shed-like building out back in order to reduce heat in the main part of the house and reduce the risk of fire. In the garden out back are herbs and medicinal plants that were traditionally used to treat ailments such as headaches, cuts, and burns. Further out back are several traditional fruit trees, such as a plum tree that produces fruit different from the plums that we typically find in grocery stores, but it is one of my favorite local fruits. Some other fruit trees out here include Suriname cherry, mango, star apple, kneesberry, sweet sop, papaya, and cashew. Nearby the Heritage Garden is the newly built Children's Garden. This was our first time seeing this garden, and we were quite impressed. A highlight of this area is the fountain and splash pad with an adjacent picnic area where families can hang out and watch the children play. There are also plenty of places for children to run around, structures to climb on, and even iguanas to watch. One of our favorite parts of this section is the bridge over a giant koi pond, where there are water lilies, fun sculptures, and plenty of beautiful plants. And it's always a great reminder that we should not feed wildlife, even if the iguanas seem harmless. Next, we climb the observation tower. This huge structure has slides, bridges, hanging chairs, and plenty of stairs. Just don't step on the crocodile on your way over there. This tower is a fun and relaxing place to hang out, even if you don't have children. For an amazing view of the surrounding nature, climb all the way to the top and look around. This will give you an idea of what the island used to look like before it was developed. When you are up here, take a look at the hedge maze down below and plan the route that you will take to get through there. After our climb, we found these cute little playhouses made from branches and vines. We couldn't resist climbing up into one. We then found another beautiful iguana, much smaller than the large one we saw earlier. We walked around slowly, not wanting to disturb it, and then made our escape through a tunnel. Next, we visited the xerophytic garden. Xerophytes are plants that need very little water, like cactuses, bromeliads, and succulents. Some trees also fit into this category, as you can see in this impressive garden. Some of these are plants that are commonly grown in gardens in the yards in the Cayman Islands. They are perfect for climates that are hot or go through dry periods and where water conservation is a priority. When we exited back out onto the main trail, we came across this gorgeous flowering orange Geiger tree, a common landscape tree in the Cayman Islands. Just a bit further down the trail, we come to the color garden, the most spectacular part of the park. The color garden certainly lives up to its name, with wonderfully colored flowers and foliage from throughout the tropics. The garden is arranged by color, beginning with pink, then transitioning to red, orange, yellow, white, blue, purple, and finally lavender. Walking through this garden is like walking through a tropical jungle where you never know what amazing, colorful wonders you might discover around the next corner. It is a peaceful, relaxing, and delightful walk through this tropical wonderland. It is a truly immersive experience, stimulating all of the senses. You are surrounded by gorgeous colors and sights, while the air is scented with the fragrances of thousands of flowers. You brush up against giant leaves, stems, and suspended flowers of all different shapes, textures, and sizes. While the soft gravel crunches under your feet, birds chirp all around, and the breeze creates a constant shushing sound as it blows gently through the trees. This is a place where you can truly find your zen. A prominent part of this garden is a large grassy area that is also surrounded by amazing colors. Blue iguanas love to hang out in the grass where they can warm themselves in the sun. Here is one completely sprawled out in the grass and completely unconcerned that we were walking around here. We almost always see one or more iguanas in this area, and we were not disappointed on this day. Here is another that was much more alert and very happy to stand there in a proud pose as we walked around to see his handsomeness from all angles. Notice the prominent blue coloration on this one. Walking around the grassy areas a bit more, we found one more iguana, which was watching us closely as we approached. You can see that we are now approaching the purple section of the garden with these large purple flowering trees. Then there's a beautiful trellis tunnel that sometimes has purple flowers hanging down. Finally, we finished with the lavender section of the garden with some colorful plumbago shrubs on the right and a gorgeous archway making the exit of the color garden. After leaving the color garden, we are making a right turn toward one of the water feature areas of the park and our favorite place to sit and relax. First, we have a short walk along a beautiful palm tree and bromeliad lined path. Then we cross a cute wooden bridge over a small pond. Then we head up to the magnificent gazebo, complete with Adirondack chairs, hanging plants, and a lily pond where purple water lilies bloom throughout the summer. This is the perfect place to relax and have a picnic lunch in the shade before walking around the rest of the park. After the gazebo, it is a short walk to the larger lake, which is another very relaxing place to hang out. We often find blue iguanas sunning themselves here near the path, and here was one enjoying a view of the lake. Our favorite coconut palm tree is here, leaning far over the water. Every time we visit, we climb out onto the trunk of this tree, testing our balancing skills, and we have many family memories here. Across the path from the lake is the palm garden. Palm trees are iconic residents of the tropical places of the world, and in this garden you will see many different species of palms that grow in the Cayman Islands and other parts of the Caribbean. This is a beautiful part of the park that is easily missed, so be sure to stop here when you visit. Another great part of the park to visit is just beyond the lake, and this is called the Woodland Trail. This is nearly a 1-mile long trail through natural Cayman Islands woodland habitat that is the nicest to walk on cooler days or in the morning. Here you are very likely to see iguanas of all different sizes, including very young ones, and the trail leads all the way back to the visitor center where you can buy a souvenir before leaving the park at the end of the day. In our next episode in this series, we will take you to some of our favorite places to visit, shop, and hang out on the island of Grand Cayman whenever we aren't on the beaches or out enjoying nature. We will give you some great tips for things to do that most tourists don't know about, so you can make the most of your visit to the island. See you there.